and everything is turning upside down. But the words I hear, they keep coming through from deep inside of me and you. It's telling us that love is who I am. You and me were not that far. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one.
Welcome to A Course of Love.
Yeah, we are one.
Welcome to A Course of Love.
Now let's come together and understand that Christ was born inside of every man. He's waiting for us to choose him as ourselves. When you choose him, you know you choose me too. And everyone becomes a part of you. And then you will know that love is who I am.
Who you are.
You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one.
Welcome to A Course of Love. Welcome to A Course of Love.
We are one.
Welcome to A Course of Love. Welcome to A Course of Love.
We are one.
Welcome to A Course of Love. Welcome to A Course of Love. Welcome, my mighty companions, to A Course of Love with Earl Purdy on Facebook Live. We're in a time of opening our hearts. You don't have to believe the ideas. You don't have to accept the ideas. You don't have to welcome the ideas. Some of the ideas are going to be hard to believe, and some of the ideas are going to be quite startling. But if you use the ideas, you will see that the ideas are true.
You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start.
Oh yeah.
Tell me, can you hear it?
Can you feel it?
Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one.
We are one.
Oh, yo, we are one.
Welcome to A Course of Love. We are one. Welcome to A Course of Love. We are one. Welcome to A Course of Love. We are one. I am you, and you are me. And you are me, and I am you. Welcome to A Course of Love. Welcome to A Course of Love. Welcome to A Course of Love. I'm Earl Purdy. I want to thank all of you for coming online, for being here with me, because we're going to go deep. We're going to go deep into the heart. It's time to go deep into the heart. Let's go deep into the heart. I want to thank all of you. Don't forget that you can comment and share and like this video and comment and share with each other. We are the mighty companions. That's who we are. Remember, you don't have to believe it. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to welcome it. Some of it's going to be hard to believe. Some of it's going to be quite startling. But what we are being asked to do is to go into our hearts. Let's take a moment to get deep into our hearts. Let go of the analytical figuring it out mind. Let go of the analytical figuring it out part of your mind. A course of love is a course for the heart. It's not a course for the analytical figure it out mind. The course of love is to the heart what the Course in Miracles is to the mind and perception. And thank you for coming online. Thank you, all my mighty companions. I'm able to see your comments as I talk. And then when I get into the zone and things are coming through me, I focus in on a lot of the comments more toward the end. But I want us to feel each other, connect with each other, communicate with each other. And in Course of Love, we're in chapter 2 of the first treatise, The Art of Thought. And the Art of Thought is on page 203 in the Course of Love, page 203. The first treatise, a treatise on the art of thought, a treatise on the art of thought. Take a deep breath. Feel your other brothers and sisters that are online with you right now. Remember that you are entitled to miracles. One of the things that the Course of Love taught us was to think no more. Thinking no more, that's a kind of controversial thought. But that means a break in time was needed for you to disengage the ego man. It's time for you to disengage the ego man. And it's your ego mind that produced the type of thinking that needs to come to an end. It's our fear-based thinking that produced the type of thinking that needs to come to an end. This ending is just a beginning. It's just a beginning in truth. And has led you to readiness to learn the art of thought. Tonight we're going to learn the art of thinking. We identified much for you to leave behind. Within the pages of A Course of Love, we identified a lot that we needed to leave behind. These many things which seem so distinct and separate, and which ranged from fear that we needed to leave behind, struggle is something we need to leave behind, efforting is something that we need to leave behind, controlling, trying to protect from our own little human level, that's something that you need to leave behind, Earl. That's something that you need to leave behind, mighty companion. And all of that can be seen, it says, as the product of the thoughts of your ego mind. Okay, so what is the product? What are the products of the thinking of the fear-based mind? What are the products of the thinking of the fear-based mind? Thinking that you're separate, that's a product of the thinking of the fear-based mind. Thinking that you are afraid about something, that's a product of the thinking of the ego mind. Thinking that you have to struggle, that's a product of the thinking of the ego, which is the fear-based mind. Thinking that you need to control everything, that you need to personally protect everything, that's also a product of the ego or the fear-based mind. So is worry, so is separation. So what do we need to do to experience the truth? Well, to experience the truth and apply to that experience the thoughts of the ego mind, The same thoughts that were applied to former experiences of the truth would be to respond to love the same way again. To keep experiencing our old thinking will just make us respond to love the same old way again. It's time for us to respond to everything that's happening in our lives in a brand new way. The questions you have asked concerning how love could be the answer when it has been preached by so many for so long is going to be answered here. How many times have you heard love is the answer? I have heard that love is the answer my entire physical life. And right now we're going to hear why that really is true. So the answer lies in your response to love. The answer is in your response to love. To respond to something is to answer it. So it's your answer to love that we're looking at right now. Now, you've sought your answer everywhere. But right here, this is where the answer lies. You may have been seeking the answer to how to respond to love and what is the power of love and what's the value of love. But right now we're going to hear it. The answer is here. You don't have to look anymore. You don't have to search anymore. The answer is here. The answer is yours to give. And the answer can only be given to love from love. Only in giving is it received. One of the things that I've noticed over and over again is that I used to really want things that I was not giving. I wanted a lot of forgiveness, but I really wasn't giving it. I wanted a lot of compassion, but I really wasn't giving it. I wanted a lot of fun and excitement in my life, but how much fun and how exciting was I? So it's only in giving that you receive. And I've heard that 100 times. I've heard that so many times. Sometimes I think if I hear some of this stuff one more time, I'll go out of my mind. But the truth is, the truth never changes, and the truth is going to keep repeating itself over and over and over and over again until I finally do it. And the truth is, it's only when I give it that I'm going to receive it. If you want compassion, you've got to give it. If you want abundance, you've got to give it. If you want peace, you have to give it. If you want to have companionship, then you have to reach out and extend. Whatever it is that's missing in your life, the only thing that's missing in your life, Earl, is what you haven't given. The only thing that's missing in your life, mighty companion, is what you haven't given. And I know that there may be a part of your mind that's going to say, oh yes, I've been giving it, but I haven't been receiving it. Then you really haven't been giving it. I am sorry to say that, but it's the absolute truth. The only thing that's missing in your life is what you're not really giving. I'm not saying you don't think you're giving it. I'm saying that at some level you're not really giving it. Or you are receiving it, but you won't let yourself see that you are receiving it because maybe you don't feel worthy of it. So even though you are receiving it, you don't even see it. And so we've sought to uncover your source. What we've been trying to do is provide you access to your heart. What I'm trying to do right now, Earl, is to provide you with access to your heart. What I'm trying to do now, mighty companion, is provide you with access to your heart. And it's from your heart that all of your responses flow. Every response that you have comes from your heart. Every response that you have to anything that's going on in your life, do you want to know where that response is coming from? That response is coming from your heart. That response is coming from your heart. So in chapter 2, paragraph 4, in The Art of Thought, it says, thus we have sought to uncover your source, to provide you access to your heart, from which all responses flow. As your heart is the source of your true self, your thoughts, once removed from those of the ego mind, are the expression and extension of your true self. So your real thoughts are thoughts that are removed from fear. Your real thoughts are thoughts that are removed from struggle and effort and control and protection. The thoughts that you have that are removed from fear, from struggle, from effort, from control, from protection, those are your real thoughts. Those are the thoughts that are an expression and an extension of your true self. Those thoughts that have nothing to do with struggle, nothing to do with effort, those thoughts you have that have nothing to do with control, those are the thoughts that are the answer of the created to the creator, the answer of your God self. So in paragraph 5 it says, thoughts that were guarded by the ego mind were in need of being set free. Thoughts that you have been guarding, the patterns that you have been guarding, all the things that you think have ever happened to you in the past that you keep focusing on and you won't let go, those are the thoughts that need to be released. Those are the thoughts that need to be set free. All the old learning that taught you that you needed to struggle, all the thoughts that you learned that taught you that you had to put forth a whole lot of effort, all the thoughts that have taught you that you need to control or fear or protect, those are the thoughts that need to be set free. Appealing to your heart was the means or the cause of this freedom being accomplished in you. I have this really there's a part of my mind that's extremely analytical. It loves to figure things out. It loves to look deep into things and then see how many ways I can look at it and think about it. And now this course of love stuff is telling me that, okay, you have expanded your consciousness. You focused on the truth. You tried to change your thinking. What you need right now is to get in touch with your heart. That's where you need to get in touch with now. So it's the appeal to your heart that is the means and the cause of this freedom that you would like to have. Would you like to be free? Wouldn't you really like to be free? Well, what will really cause your freedom is appealing to your heart. So what was spoken of within A Course of Love as unlearning, the unlearning has begun and the unlearning has continued here. What was spoken of within A Course of Love, what is being spoken of in A Course of Love is a new learning. A new learning has begun. You've started a brand new learning. You started a brand new learning. You started a brand new level. You started a brand new learning. You have started a brand new level. You have started a brand new level. You have started a brand new level. You are moving to a brand new level. A new level has begun. And it's going to continue. And it's going to continue right here in A Course of Love. The difference is that you are now ready to learn a new means of responding to this unlearning. You are ready to learn a new means of learning. And this new means of learning, this new response, do you want to know what the new response is? The new response is the art of thinking. You are about to learn the art of thinking. There is an art to thinking. So now you are going to learn the art of thinking. So in paragraph 6 in chapter 2, it says, the so-called thinking of the ego mind was so tyrannical that its use throughout your lifetime deadened many of your feelings. So a person that's constantly thinking from fear, a person that's constantly thinking from guilt, a person that's constantly thinking from anger and thinking from separation, they eventually experience a deadening of their feelings. If you stay afraid, if you worry and you're concerned and you're upset and you keep doing that for a very, very long time, what you will experience is your feelings seeming to die. You will be walking around but you don't really feel alive. You will be walking around and you don't really get excited and you don't feel things the way that you used to feel things and the way that you were accustomed to experiencing your feelings with vibrancy and aliveness. When you are rooted in separation and worry and anxiety and despair and depression and guilt because you're listening to your ego, because you're listening to your fear-based mind, it deadens many of your feelings. It led you so far from the truth that you no longer trust in the truth. It confused the smallest issues in your life to such a degree that it left you unable to respond purely to anything. The so-called thinking of your ego mind, the so-called thinking of your fear-based mind, you could compare it to or liken it to chit-chat, background noise, static. Yeah, the ego mind, the fear-based mind, those thoughts that are not coming from God and love inside you, they're like background noise. They're like static. So little meaning did it have that all meaning became muddled. So what is your only recourse? Who you are really is behind every thought, every concept, every emotion that you are having that is anything but love. Who you really are, that presence, that awareness that you really are, that presence has nothing to do with you being a body. It has nothing to do with you ultimately being a human being. It has nothing to do ultimately with you being a woman or a man. Your true identity ultimately has nothing to do with the roles you play. It ultimately has nothing to do with you being a man or a woman or a mother or a father or a sister or a brother or a teacher or actor or a banker. None of the roles that you are playing in the world have anything to do with who or what you really are. The role that you're playing in the world could be likened to an actor in a play. It's not who you really are, but it can be used. All of these roles can be used to help you remember who you really are behind the roles. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you know that it's time for you to get beyond the concepts of yourself that you've learned from the world. That's why you don't hear me talking about how to deal with your boss at work and how to deal with your co-workers and all that level of teaching and learning, because you are going to a brand new level. It's time for a new learning. And if you truly remember and if you truly know who you really are as a divine spiritual being, all that kind of stuff will take care of itself. It will be handled. It will clear up. It's not about anymore about you telling yourself if somebody spoke or acted differently, you'd be happy. It's no longer about you saying if this situation were different, I would be happy. It's no longer about you saying if this circumstance over here were different, I'd be happy. It's no longer about you saying if I was living somewhere else, if I had another house, if I had another car, if I had another mate, if I had another job. That's another level of learning that's below the level that you're learning from now. If you were to get in touch with your true self by learning to get in touch with your heart, all of those issues would be solved. You only have one problem, according to what we're studying, and that is your sense of being separate and disconnected from God. Your sense of being separate and disconnected from your source. That is the only problem. And that problem has already been solved. It's been solved. It's right here in a book. It's already been solved in the sense that the way to get past those fears, the way to get past that anxiety, we are learning it right now in a course of love. So what is your only recourse? Your only recourse to this situation in the past was focus. So in the past, what you did was focus. And so you applied your thoughts to learning subjects of a specific nature. Through this focus of trying to learn subjects of a specific nature in the past, you believe that you've accomplished a lot. You believe that you've accomplished a lot through all the things that you've learned in the past. Though through this focus, you believe you accomplished much. You congratulated yourself on having the discipline required to train your mind to focus and to learn, or you shamed yourself when you were unable to focus and learn. To those most skilled in this training of the ego mind, worldly rewards have long been given to people who were willing to learn through their ego mind. through their separated mind. People who are only learning through their ego mind, through their separate mind, through the sense of being separate from God. Those who are only learning from the perspective that they're separate and that they're a body. These people attain degrees and skills and then further apply the discipline that they have learned by using their skills and knowledge in the world for even greater rewards. And what are these rewards? These rewards have further emphasized the importance of such focused thoughts in the world, and that further entrenched your ego, fearful mind. So to think that you could learn the truth of who you are through the same means that the world taught you to recognize the truth of everything, that was the fallacy that the early teaching of A Course of Love sought to dispel. So what does that mean? You're not going to learn to dispel your false ideas and to wake up to who you really and truly are as an unlimited spiritual being by using the same methods that the world taught you to learn things. To learn the new level that you want to go to, you're going to have to learn things in a different way than the way the world taught you to learn things in the past. So in paragraph 8 in chapter 2 of the first treatise, it says, but again, as was stated often throughout A Course of Love, there is an alternative. There's an alternative. There's an alternative. The alternative did not exist when you didn't know of it, but your attempts at learning have been just absolutely valiant, and your attempts at learning are no cause for anxiety. But now there's a new alternative that's being revealed to you. There's a new alternative that's being revealed to you. There's a new alternative that is being revealed to you. There's a new alternative that is being revealed to me. There's a new alternative that's being revealed to me. There's a new alternative that is being revealed to you. There is a new alternative that is being revealed to you. There's a new alternative that is being revealed to us. And it does call for one thing. So what does this new alternative call for? What does this new alternative require? The new alternative require that all thought, as you once knew thought, does need to stop. In order to move to the alternative, in order to move to the new way of thinking that is beyond struggle and beyond effort and pain, you must stop thinking the way that you used to think. You have to stop thinking the way you've been trained to think by the world. You must stop thinking the way that you were trained to think by the fear-based mind. You must stop thinking the way you were taught to think by the world. In order to move to the new level, you must stop thinking the way you were taught to think. You have already succeeded. Really, you've already succeeded. Do you know that you have already succeeded in learning in this new way once, or you wouldn't be here? You've already succeeded in thinking in a new way, or you wouldn't be here with me right now. You have already succeeded in beginning to think in a new way, or we wouldn't be having this gathering, you and I, together right now. If you know that you are not thinking the way that the world thinks, all you have to do is read the paper, listen to your friends and relatives, watch television, see what's going on in the world, and you would realize you already think differently from the way that the world thinks, or you wouldn't even be listening to me or watching me right now. This is your proof. Your proof is that we're gathering with each other. Your proof is the things that I'm telling you and the things that you're hearing in A Course of Love. That's your proof that you can think another way again and again. You have to think in a new way, this new way, again and again. For how long? How long do you have to think in this new way? And what is basically the new way? Recognizing that you're responsible for how you see things. Thinking that you're the one that chooses the feelings that you experience because you're the one that's giving everything all the meaning that it has for you. Recognizing that you're the one that decides on the goals and the purposes that you're going to achieve. And most of all, the new way of thinking teaches you that everything that seems to happen to you at some level, you're the one that is creating it, and perceiving what you are making and creating and receiving it the way that you have asked, that you are indeed an incredible creator. You are divine. You are unlimited. You are an extension of God. So, would you be willing to continue to think this way over and over again until it replaces the old way and the art of thought leaves behind forever the need for what your ego mind wants but seems to offer you? When you practice this art of thought that is based on your innocence, the art of thought is based on your absolute complete wholeness and innocence. There's a whole new world that goes with the idea that you are totally and completely sinless, guiltless, and innocent. The new thought system is rooted in the idea that you are sinless, you are innocent, you are guiltless. The old thought system is centered in the idea that you are separate, that you are guilty, and in some cases that you are somehow sinful. So the old thought system is based on separation, and the new thought system is based on unity and oneness. Now, the thoughts of your ego, the thoughts of your fear-based mind were ruled by the nature of the body. The old thought system was based on the premise that you are just a body. The old thought system is based on the premise that you are just a body mind, that you are just a body, and that you are a body that can be destroyed, that you are a body that dies. The old thought system is based completely on the idea that you are temporary, that you do not last, that you are not divine, that you're just a person out here trying to make it. And what you're supposed to do is come up with what you call your goals and purposes of what you're going to make in the world that's going to provide for you and take care of you and give you satisfaction. So the world is based on the idea that everything that satisfies you and completes you is something that's outside of you, and not only something that's outside of you, that it's also something that you could only have in the future. The old thought system is rooted in you never being able to experience wholeness and completeness right now, and that all of your happiness is always based on, if this were different, I'd be happy. And if I get this thing that I can have in the future, then I will be happy. And I am also not whole, not complete, not perfect, and I'm on my own. That is rooted in the idea of separation. That's the old thought system. That's completely connected to the idea that you are just a body. I know you may have this beautiful, luscious, gorgeous body that it looks like many people may want to get to, but they're not getting to you. They're just getting to your communication device. Your body is just your communication device. Your body is just the way that you communicate and join in this plane, but it is not you. The body isn't you. You have the body, but the body isn't you. So to exist as creatures whose only thoughts are the survival of the body is to exist in a lower order. So how can a person tell if they are existing in a lower order? How can you tell if you are living in a lower order of existence? How can I tell if I'm living in a lower order of existence? How can I tell if I'm living in a lower order of existence? If I'm living at a lower order of existence, all I think about is my survival. All I think about is the survival of my body. If I'm living in a lower order, if I'm living in a lower order of existence, all I'm thinking about is how I'm going to make it. How am I going to make it? How am I going to make it? How am I going to survive? How am I going to survive? How am I going to defend myself? How am I going to protect myself? How am I going to come up with enough money to take care of myself? How am I going to try to get somebody to care something about me? If you're living on a lower order of consciousness, if you're living on a lower order of awareness, the only thing you're primarily concerned with is your physical survival. So the laws of the body have thus subjected you to conditions. The laws of the body have subjected you to certain conditions that invited your ego mind, your fear-based mind, to turn its attention to existence in this lower order. So why are you focusing your attention on this existence in a lower order? Because thinking that you're a body invites you to turn your attention to existence on a lower order. So how do you get out of this? How do you get into that alternative thinking that frees you from fear? It is only you who can recognize. It's only you that can invite the higher order. It is only you that can subject yourself to the conditions of a higher order. It is only your attention to the existence of this higher order that will reveal its laws to you. So what is it that will reveal the laws of a higher existence to you? What will reveal the laws of a higher existence to you is your focusing your attention on a higher order. To go to the next level, do you know what you have to do to go to the next level? To go to the next level, you must focus your attention on the existence of a higher order. Focus your attention on the idea that there is a higher order for you. To go to the next level, you focus on the next level. To go to the next level, you focus your attention on a higher order. These are the laws of God. So what are the laws of God? 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 That's the same as saying, what are the rules of love? The higher order. The higher order is based on the rules of love. And the rules of love are the rules of freedom. And the rules of freedom are the laws of God. The rules of freedom are the laws of God. The rules of freedom are the laws of God. Take a breath. It is only your attention to the existence of this higher order that will reveal its laws to you. It's only your attention that will reveal the laws of the higher order to you. To experience the laws of the higher order, you just have to focus your attention. You got to focus your attention. You have to focus your attention on the higher order. Just focus your attention. Just focus your attention. You must focus your attention on the higher order. These are the laws of God. The laws of God are the laws of love. The laws of God, the laws of God are the laws of love. The laws of God, the laws of God are the laws of love right now. The laws of God are the laws of love, are the laws of God. It's only you who can recognize and invite the higher order. It is only you who can recognize and invite the higher order. So say to yourself, I invite the higher order. 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 We 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 invite the higher order. I 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 invite the higher order. You 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 invite the higher order. These are the laws of God, which are the laws of love. I invite the laws of love. I invite the laws of love. We 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 invite the laws of love. So what are the laws of love? What are the laws of God? How can we summarize the laws of love? How can we summarize the laws of God? Well, the Course of Love in paragraph 11 says, the laws of God or the laws of love can be summarized by the simple statement of giving and receiving are one in truth. Giving and receiving are the same. Giving and receiving are the same. The implications of this statement, what statement? That giving and receiving are the same. The implications of this statement are far broader than at first might seem to be implicated. In other words, all of these implications have been touched upon in A Course of Love. But what is the most essential implication? What is the most essential implication? The most essential implication is that of the relationship for giving and receiving cannot occur without relationship. Giving and receiving doesn't happen without relationship. Without relationship, and that doesn't mean a relationship with another body, necessarily in a romantic or intimate special relationship. It's saying that there's got to always be a relationship of some sort in terms of giving and receiving. All relationship, all real relationship. What is all real relationship? Well, all real relationship is the relationship between the Creator and the created. The one real relationship is the relationship between you and your Creator. The one real relationship is the relationship between you and the Creator. The one real relationship is the relationship between you and the Creator. The one real relationship is your relationship with God. The one real relationship, is the relationship between you and the universe. The relationship between you and God, you and love. That's the one real relationship. There's only one real relationship, and that's the relationship between you and the Creator. Do you know that there is only one real relationship? That is the relationship between you and the Creator. There is only one real relationship, and all of your relationships are a reflection of your relationship with God. All of your relationships are just a reflection of your relationship with God. If you want to know what kind of relationship you have with God, then look at all of your relationships, because all of your relationships are a reflection of your one relationship. So the new means of thinking is referred to here as the art of thought. And the reason why it's called the art of thought is to call your wholehearted attention to the continual act of creation. And do you know what the continual act of creation is? The continual act of creation is the relationship between the Creator and the created. Creation is just a dialogue to which you haven't responded yet. There's a dialogue going on right now between you and your Creator that you haven't responded to yet. There's a dialogue going on between you and God that you haven't responded to yet. There's a communication coming to you from the Creator within you, but you haven't responded to the Creator. You haven't responded to your Creator. You haven't responded to the dialogue from the Creator. You have not responded. If you are unhappy in any way, if you feel fear or conflict in any way, you have not responded to the dialogue coming to you from the Creator. Creation is the dialogue between the Creator and the creation. So when you are practicing the art of thought, you will be free to respond to the communication that's coming to you from the Creator. This response needs to at first be seen in two parts. So there are two parts to the response. Would you like to know what the two parts to the response are? Let me give you an example. It says an example illustrates. So listen to this. I'm going to go through it kind of swiftly so you can hear it. Listen to me like you're listening to a conversation. When we come together for the course of love, listen to it like you're listening to a conversation between you and me. So, an example illustrates. To look at a sunset is to see an object. What is the object? The sun. It's also to see the sky when you look at a sunset. To see the variety of colors displayed when you look at a sunset. To see the horizon when you look at a sunset. It's also to see the surrounding area when you're looking at a sunset. Perhaps you see the play of clouds among the descending rays. Perhaps you feel a warmth or a chill of an evening while you're watching a sunset. But the whole experience of a sunset might also include the sound of birds. So you might hear traffic in the background. You may hear the rhythm of the ocean or the pounding of your own heart while you are observing a sunset. The sunset might be a shared experience, one in which you share the feeling of awe that's inspired by this sight, and you're experiencing it with somebody that you really love. The sunset, it also might be seen as you are walking, or the sunset might be seen as you're driving, or raking leaves, or gazing out of an office window. The sunset might be a deathbed vision, or the first sunset of which a young child is aware. The sunset might be a scene taken totally for granted as you go about whatever business calls you at that hour. In other words, the sunset is a gift of God. The sunset is a gift of God. The sunset is what the sunset is. So this is the first part of this example. Now let's go deeper. The second part of this example is the reception of the sunset. In other words, the sunset has been given to you. A gift has been given to you. The sunset is a gift to you. What is your response to the sunset? The sunset is a gift to you, but what is your response to the sunset? Now, do you know that the sunset is part of your human experience? And do you know that in the lower order of that experience, then the sunset might speak to your survival needs? If you're looking at the sunset from a lower level of consciousness, the sunset might speak to your survival needs. It may signal many things, ranging to a desire to get safely home because it's getting dark, or the desire to go to eat because you feel like you're hungry, it's sunset and you need to have a meal. But the sunset at a lower level, the sunset at a survival level, signals that there's a change in the natural world around you. Birds and squirrels and flowers too have a reaction to the setting of the sun. They react to what it is. This is their response. It's an altogether lovely response to the Creator. Yet, would you like to rise above a lower level of response? Would you like to go to a higher level of response? That is to receive and to give back. A higher level would be to receive it and to give back. So let's go back. It says, first, the sunset is experienced for what the sunset is. The first thing you do is you experience the sunset for what the sunset is. So the first thing you do in the art of thought is you acknowledge it. It is a fact in your existence as a human being that you experience sunsets. But the sunset is also a part of the natural world. But do you also know that the sunset is a gift of God? That the sunset is a gift of God? The sunset is a gift of the Creator. Secondly, the sunset is going to be experienced relationally. What does it mean to experience a sunset relationally? That means that the sunset speaks to you, and then you speak to the sunset. The sunset becomes another thing that binds you to the natural world. The sunset becomes something that binds you to the present. The sunset binds you to the right now, if you were really to allow yourself to be present with the sunset right now. But also, the sunset will bind you to a higher world. the sunset can be used to connect you to the eternal. The sunset binds you to all those who have experienced the sunset, and the sunset is uniting you with everyone that will experience the sunset by experiencing the sunset as a shared experience. So the sunset isn't there for you only. The sunset is not there only for you, but in listening to the call of the sunset for a response, then the sunset becomes a gift for you that is in no way diminished by the sunset being a gift for all. Because that sunset is a gift for everybody does not diminish the fact that that sunset is a gift for you. Because that person in your life could be a gift and a blessing to everybody doesn't mean that that person in your life is not a total and complete gift for you. Just because something is a gift for you, it doesn't mean that it's not a gift for everybody. And because something or someone is a gift for everybody, does not mean that that something or someone is not a total gift for you. Finally, the sunset becomes, through your experience of the sunset becomes an opportunity for you to apply the art of thinking a new way. The sunset gives you an opportunity to think in a new way. And so these are the basic rules. So would you like to know the basic rules for the art of thought? I would like to give you the basic rules for the art of thought. First, whatever is happening in your experience, the first thing that you want to do is you want to experience that for what it is. That's the first thing. The first thing you want to do with anything is you want to experience it for what it is. You want to experience whatever you are experiencing for what it is. You want to experience whatever you are experiencing for what it is. The first thing you want to do is experience what you are experiencing for what it is. And to acknowledge what it is, both as a fact in your existence as a human being and as a gift of the Creator. You are a gift to me. You are a fact in my existence as a human being, and you are a gift of the Creator. Second, to acknowledge the relationship inherent in the experience. There's a relationship between you and the sunset. There's a relationship between you and me. There's a call for response with the sunset. There's also a call for response between you and me. And the nature of all gifts is being given to all. And I also remember that this gift is being given to both of us. Now, while this may seem somewhat elementary in relationship to a sunset, what I just said may seem elementary, its application to all areas of life will at first seem quite demanding. Because what is elementary remains elementary once it is learned. Whatever is elementary remains elementary once it is learned. Okay, so let's go back. What do we need to understand? To experience what is and to acknowledge what is. If you're going to experience this and acknowledge this, to experience what is and then to acknowledge what is, you have to be present. If you're going to experience what is, like what we are experiencing right now, then you have to be present. You can't be into what's going to happen later after you listen or watch this. You can't be thinking about what you were thinking about and what happened to you earlier today. And when you are in a time of focusing in on presence, the way we are doing right now, the ego mind has a tendency to constantly fly around in chaos, trying not to concentrate, trying not to be present, trying to figure it out, trying to think about the past, trying to think about the future. You may be experiencing a part of you right now that seems like it's going crazy, and it's hard for you to focus in on what's being said. That's because your ego knows that if you're ever fully embodied in the present moment, your ego, your fear, is going to be gone. So your ego has an investment in never allowing you to be present in the here and now, acknowledging what is. Because if you're acknowledging what is, it means that you're right here, right now, present as a human being. So to experience what is and to acknowledge what is as being what? To experience what is and to acknowledge what is as being a gift. Like this is a gift. Me being here with you is a gift. You being here with me is a gift. Us being here with each other is a gift of God. This is a gift of the Creator. So to experience what is and to acknowledge what is as being a gift of God is to be present. Finally, you are being present. Being present as what? You are being present as a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being having a human experience. What are you? What are you? You are a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being, 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 you are a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being having a human experience. You are a divine being having a human experience. Even if your mind is always analyzing and processing, just recognize that that is my ego mind. That is what I train my ego mind to do. My ego mind analyzes and processes. So what do? You let your ego mind analyze and process as much as it wants to. You allow your ego mind to analyze and process. Allow all your thoughts, allow all your feelings, and choose to go with the new way of thinking. And let the new way of thinking direct your actions. Let your heart direct your actions. Don't spend any more time trying to get rid of your ego. You don't release your ego by humbling it or controlling it or judging it. The way that you allow your ego to dissolve is just to let it do its thing, which is to analyze, process, and try to scare the living hell out of you with worry and upset, so that you will be distracted and not focus in on your true spiritual path and your true human identity. Your ego is a distraction that your mind has made to keep you believing that you're separate. The way you transcend your ego is to allow it and then turn your attention to what is true, the art of thought, to acknowledging what is, being present as a human being, and seeing your experience as a gift of God, and the gift of love. No part of your being should be negated. Your human experience is not to be negated. Your human experience is to be allowed and embraced and loved. What's important is for you not to forget that you are a divine being having a human experience. All senses, all the feelings of the human being are called into awareness. But at the same time, there's an acknowledgement of the creator behind the created. You acknowledge this. You stay aware of all of this. You allow yourself to embody and enjoy and experience the physical. But just don't forget that you are a divine being having this human physical experience. How do you realize unity? Well, the way that you realize unity is to acknowledge this relationship and the nature of this gift from God, to realize the call for a response. All of this is calling for your response, to realize that the call for a response is to hear the call to create like unto the Creator. This is a call for me to create like God, for me to extend love. Be here. Don't negate any of this experience. Just know that in this experience, you are being called to extend love. You are being called to extend freedom, to create like unto the Creator, creating like the Creator, giving and receiving as one, giving and receiving love, extending awareness and freedom. That is the definition of the art of thought. This was the art of thought. We're going to have a few takeaways. And I'd like for you to list and share with me a few of your takeaways from this session that we've done. What is the thing that you want to take away that you heard? Share that with me right now. Thank you for tuning into this. Thank you for utilizing me as a teacher, a facilitator for you. I'm a full-time teacher and facilitator. This is what I do in the world. And I'd like to thank you and those of you who have been sharing financial expressions of appreciation. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation to my full-time teaching ministry, just go to my website, earlpurdy.com. If you'd like to find out more about the Course of Love, go to acourseoflove.org. I'm also available for one-on-one sessions called clarity sessions. Do that. Give yourself a clarity session with me. Work with me on a one-on-one. I've done this for over 30 plus years. Allow me to save you some time through the Holy Spirit, the love within us. Just go to my website, sign up for my contact list so I can keep you informed of the workshops and classes that I'm going to do soon. We're going to go deeper together. So let's see. And the music is johnchristmas.com, and you can download it for free. So let's see what we have. I am a divine being having a human experience. Hard to ignore it, challenge to stay aware. Heartache is so hard to just experience, but thank you for helping. I allow the ego and embrace the ego in the love of the Christ mind. Enjoying this human experience as divine being more and more each day. Be in the moment. These are comments from your mighty companions. Be in the moment. Hardest for me because my mind is always analyzing and processing. Thank you for the gift of teaching us. You are very, very welcome. The present right now is the gift. All right. I'm going to give you the key points as we complete this right now. And don't forget to share this. It only works if you use it. And you're going to a brand new level. The level where you practice the art of thinking. First thing you want to do is experience what is. Experience what is. Whatever is happening in your life right now, just experience what is. Experience what is. Experience what is. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge them. Say, everything in my life is a fact of my existence as a human being. Everything in your life is a fact of your existence as a human being. Everything you are experiencing in your life, it is a gift of the Creator. Go, I thank my Creator for its gifts to me. I thank my Creator for its gifts to me. I thank the Creator for its gifts to me. I thank the Creator for its gifts to me. I acknowledge the relationship that I am having with you in this experience. So let's acknowledge the relationship. Let's acknowledge our relationship. Let's acknowledge our relationship. Let's acknowledge our relationship. First, acknowledge what is. And say that this is a fact of my experience as a human being. What I'm experiencing right now is a fact of my existence as a human being. And what I am experiencing right now is a gift of God. What I am experiencing right now is a gift of God. Acknowledge the relationship inherent in the experience. To experience what is and to acknowledge what is, you must be present. You must be present. You must be present. Now, tell yourself, the present is my point of power. The present is my point of power. Say it this way. The present is the point of power. The present is the point of power. The present is the point of power. My present is my point of power. To realize the call for response is to realize you are experiencing a call for God, a call from God, and tell yourself this. All that I give is given to myself. 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 Say it with me. All that I give is given to myself. All that I give is given to myself. All that you give is given to yourself. All that you give is given to yourself. All that you give is given to yourself. All that I give is given to myself. Mighty companions, you are a divine being having a human experience. That's what you are. A divine being having a human experience. It has been an honor. It has been a pleasure, treasure. I love how you've been communicating and sharing. Go to my website, earlpurdy.com, and learn all about me and what I want to share with you. And there are hundreds of videos of classes available. May the course be with you. And don't forget, you are a divine being having a juicy, luscious human experience. See you next time.